Our sales communication process stands on four important pillars. One, you get to understand the sales process, the communication process, the pull factors of sales communication, and the push factors of sales communication. The success of every business ultimately rests on the shoulder of your sales processes. Business Growth Summit 101 in 2023 will give you the blueprint on how to build and apply this sales communication process to truly optimize the growth and cash flow potential of your business. So, we encourage you to join us on a daily basis and learn how to apply these practical tools to growing and scaling your brands. To understand debt mitigation. In business, it is not enough to understand financial instruments, being debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. It is equally important to understand debt mitigation. It is with debt mitigation you're able to reduce your debt life cycle, reduce the debt cost, and attain greater financial leverage. We at Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York, we give our clients the support they need to access capital, leverage capital, and mitigate debt in the right way. It is in debt mitigation you're able to significantly optimize financial leverage. So I encourage you to reach out to us at Pitch Deck 101 LLC to learn more. Smart ways to access capital, smart ways to leverage capital, and above all, smart ways to mitigate debt. Access to capital is vital for the success of every business. However, it is important to know that all financial instruments are not created equal. We at Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York, we support our clients to access business credit at 0% APR. This can give your business a tremendous competitive advantage. So I encourage you to reach out to us now and let us help you set up your business in the right way and access capital the smart way. Our sales communication process stands on four important pillars. One, you get to understand the sales process, the communication process, the pull factors of sales communication, and the push factors of sales communication. The success of every business ultimately rests on the shoulder of your sales processes. Business Growth Summit 101 in 2023 will give you the blueprint on how to build and apply this sales communication process to truly optimize the growth and cash flow potential of your business. So, we encourage you to join us on a daily basis and learn how to apply these practical tools to growing and scaling your brands. Welcome to another broadcast of the Business Growth Summit 101. I must say, it gives me tremendous pleasure to be with you today. And of course, today we are going to be doing a deeper dive into the sales communication process. Now, the reason we're going to be looking at sales communication process is because the success of every business ultimately rests on the shoulders of your sales department, your marketing department. So today I'm going to really give you a lot of information that can really help you to really understand how to start to build out that seven-figure business and how to leverage the sales communication process with a high degree of mastery to bring you to that point to optimize the business potential to cash flow. Now, today I promise you is going to be very, very exciting. And I just want to quickly recap on Jed introduction of this program. Jed introduced this program last week that he called the sales communication process. And what he clearly outlined is that the sales communication process represents four important concepts. One is the sales process. Do you really understand the sales process and how to apply this to your business and sales and marketing and branding to achieve a desired end results? This program really helps you to understand that. Along with this, he talks about the communication process. Do you really understand the communication process? There are noise in communication that can drown out the message. And you want to be aware of this as you leverage the communication process. He spoke briefly about this, but over a period of time, we're going to be going so deep into this that you will become a walking encyclopedia on the sales communication best practices. Now, along with this, the third element of the sales communication process, we talk about the pull factors of sales communication. And the pull factor is so called because it is unique. It is different from the push factor. It is largely based on the fact that you have taken the time to really understand, you know, communication platforms, understanding your audience base, understanding, how to leverage communication best practices to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, move the client into action. It's about understanding these systems and applying it in your sales processes that really enables you to win. It's a different approach, and we today we're going to do a little deep dive into an area of this. The last element that JD would have spoke about that represents the four elements of the sales communication process is the push factors of sales communication. And this one is very common, the push factors of sale, because this is where you build your sales department, you send them out into the field, they knock on door, they leverage impulse buying to optimize the sales process. And sometimes that can be very frustrating because when you are leveraging the push factors in sales, in most cases, it don't have to be this way, but this is how it is. You are going after sales aggressively without the absolute bio data. So these information you really need. However, I want to quickly walk you through a couple of things. Now, Jed also in introducing the sales communication process, he spoke about how to command attention, which is the first concept under the sales process, how to command attention. Now, if you're in sales and you really do not understand how to command attention, it's going to undermine your ability to sell. It will undermine your ability to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, move the client into action, and optimize the level of conversion to cash flow maximize. So he spoke about this. And in introducing this concept, he also spoke about 10 important concepts that you should be taken note of. And I'm going to go back through them and I'm going to look at one today to really help you to unlock some of the essence behind commanding attention. Now, one of the things that Jed spoke about when he introduced this topic, the sales communication process, he spoke about the fact that if you want to become an expert that can command attention in sales, the first thing he said, you need to become a subject matter expert. The second thing he spoke about is becoming market oriented and market sensitive. The third concept that he spoke about is becoming a value proposition mastery. In other words, you want to become a person that can deliver your value proposition with mastery. He spoke about all of that as a need, a necessity when you want to command attention, peak interest, arouse desire, move your client into action, cash flow maximize. He also went on to talk about mastering your sense of self. How important is this? All right, mastering your sense of self. And he went further to look at mastering your sense of self confidence, mastering your self confidence. So these are all things because you find that you cannot want to sell commanded attention and you don't have a strong sense of self. You don't have self confidence. It is your self confidence that is going to help to propel you uh, further in sales, further in mastering the sales communication process. So he spoke about some of these things as being essential tenets when you're attempting to command attention. That's one of the elements in the sales communication process. He went on to also talk about applying yourself with mastery. Today, I'm going to spend some time talking about how to apply yourself with mastery. And of course, I'm going to be giving you a lot of nuggets that will really help you to understand how to build up a seven-figure business in some very short steps. So we will do a deep dive into that. I promise you, it's going to be exciting. The information that you're going to be getting today is going to be off the hook. So do get your pens and your paper and do be prepared to take some notes. Do some notes taking. Jared also spoke about becoming a master influencer. All of these things are essential tenets of positioning yourself to start to command attention. You want to become a master influencer. It's necessary. All right. He went on to talk about mastering the art of speaking to inspire and mastering the art of speaking to empower. These are two different types of approaches that you're going to be using to speak in order to command attention. And the last concept he spoke about is mastering the art of connecting with your audience. Now, if you cannot connect with your audience in the sales communication process, it will literally undermine your efforts to sell. So, under the commanding attention, under the concept commanding attention, he identified 10 ways to enable you to command attention. Today, I will do a deep dive into applying yourself with mastery in the sales communication process, and you don't want to miss it. So, call a friend, tell a friend that the Business Growth Summit is on, and if they're in business, they want to really understand how to apply the sales process, the sales communication process to the point where they're becoming masters. Let them come and join it. It's free. All right. So, just before I get into today's program, permit me to do some housekeeping. This program comes to you with the kind compliments of Pitch Deck 101 LLC and 10X B&M LLC out of New York. We have designed this program with you, the business community, in mind. The objective behind Pitch Deck 101 is really to help businesses to win in more ways than one when it comes to financial instruments. So at Pitch Deck 101 LLC, we take the time to really build out an ecosystem that helps businesses to understand financial instruments. Why is this necessary? We are seeing that businesses are struggling to access capital to grow and scale their businesses. I know this because I interface with, business leaders from across the world, and access to capital is always a challenge. You need access to capital to invest in real estate. You need access to capital to invest in new product innovation. You need access to capital to grow and expand your business across, different parts of the world. Access to capital. You seem to be struggling with this. So based on listening to this complaint, we have now built out the Pitch Deck 101 LLC to speak to your pain points. So at Pitch Deck 101, we are able to help our clients to access debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. Only yesterday, I was in a conversation with one of our partners from MB Capital. MB Capital, they have allocated in excess of $100 million to businesses to ensure that businesses are growing at scale and achieving their objective. And very soon, I will have some of those players on stage with me talking to you about their platform. But today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the MB. You would have heard the ad stated that we can help you access business credit at 0% APR. Let me explain this a little further for you. You know, if you access a debt, there will be a cost associated to debt capital. And I often explain how debt interest is calculated. It is calculated from the time you receive the funding and is calculated for the entire year before the year end comes. All right. It is, yeah. So you need to understand this. But I'm talking about here business credit. It's different. What we're saying here is that we're able to help you to access business credit once your business is registered properly, once your business is set up properly. Okay. You heard Allure Thompson a few last week. She spoke about the importance of setting up your business properly. All right. Now, if you can do it for yourself, you can go right ahead and get it done. Some of the things you talk about may not cost you anything. But of course, if you have to come to a consultant and we have to put our team to work for you, it will cost you. All right. It will cost you. But if you can do this on your own, get your business set up properly. But if you go into a consultant, they're not going to work for free. They have to delegate that responsibility to their staff, to their team players to get the work done for you. All right. To save you time and perhaps stress of going through that process yourself. Once your business is set up properly, we're able to help you access between 50,000 US dollars and 250,000 US dollars within a few weeks. All right, within a few weeks, we're able to help you access the much needed funds that you need. The beauty here is not just accessing the capital. All right. You're now accessing business credit at 0% APR. Now, what APR means? It means annual percentage rate. This means that for a period of 6 to 18 or 21 months, you have absolutely no interest to pay on the capital that you're receiving. Can you imagine that? That is something that you should be absolutely excited about because here is where you have access to money and you could invest, you can flip and flip and flip and invest that money several times over and over without having to pay any interest at all. And let me give you an example on this. If you are getting access to, let us say, 200,000 US dollars and you're paying back 10% APR per annum, you're paying back, let us say, per year, $20,000 in interest cost. That $20,000, you're saving it. That $20,000 can go a far way in investing, reinvesting into your business. So it's these type of savings that we are bringing to you from the Pitch Deck 101 LLC, from the 10X B&M LLC, and it gets even better. Because with us, it's not just about helping you to understand financial instruments. It's about working with you to access the capital. It's about working with you to give you smart game plans in terms of leveraging these financial instruments. And more so, it's about working with you to help you to bring down your debt life cycle, bring down the debt cost, and achieve the highest degree of financial leverage. So there's tremendous advantage in working with Pitch Deck 101 LLC, 10X B&M LLC out of New York, and our team. All right. When you work with us, there's so much of advantage. I did say to you last week that we're going to set up your bank account because we have partnership with financial institution and banks that we're going to help set up your business checking account, your savings account, and our bankers, they will put some monies into your bank account. They will they will give you an incentive for doing the right thing and setting up your business properly. That's advantage. If you have someone else that you can go to and have that kind of advantage where some free money just, pop up in your account for doing the right thing, you go to them. But I'm saying this is what we can do for you at Pitch Deck 101 LLC and the 10X B and M LLC. So feel free to visit pitchdeck101.org. That's our website. Our contact numbers are there, and you can study our website so you understand what we are doing. Peruse that website, and also feel free to make contact with us. You can scroll to the bottom of that website. You will see our social media platform. You can reach out to us. Follow us on those social media platforms. So you will be the first to get these updates that we are bringing to you on a regular basis. All right. Take full advantage of this. Along with this, if you have intention of setting up your company in the US, either as a US national or a foreign national, we're going to allocate to you $5,000 to support that process. If you have someone else that is going to allocate monies to you to grow and expand, to expand your vision and give you that support, go to them. If not, you know who to come to. We're going to allocate 5,000 US dollars to you that you can use to develop your social media platform, that you can use to, come into a masterclass to learn how you can really access, capital at 0% and how to leverage that capital, into your business growth and development. This is options that we're giving to you at the Pitch Deck 101 LLC, 10X B&M LLC out of the United States of America. You can set up your business anywhere in the United States of America. We can bring funding to you across the United States of America. All right. We have our financial partners, and of course, they are no novice in this. They have years of experience in doing this. And believe me, there's some, if you don't pre-qualify for, debt capital, because we're dealing with so many different financial portfolios and we have so many financial partners, will be able to get funding for you. So I just wanted to do that little housekeeping. Along with this, I want to say to you at 10X B&M LLC, we are fully aware that access to capital is not the beginning and the end. You need to have a strong brand, and that business must be built on a very strong culture. All right. The 10X B&M LLC, it really helps you to understand how to build your business to have the strongest of business culture. Traditionally, when you talk about the value proposition, your value proposition is all about the value proposition to your customer because you want to cash flow maximize. We take you deeper than this. Your value proposition should have 4 points of impact. And once you get this right, when you get this right, not before then, we then move all the way to visibility, to reach, to impact, to client conversion, client optimization, making impact, building confidence, trust, and credibility in the eyes of your customer. You see, if you try to do all of this before getting the culture of the organization properly developed, you will undermine the process. Because as you go public and the cracks start to show, it undermines confidence, it undermines trust, and it undermines credibility. So at the 10X B&M LLC, we really help you to get this right before you go public. So there's so much of advantage in working with us. I want to encourage you to reach out to us. We have a team of subject matter experts that awaits you to provide you with the support that you need to grow and scale your vision. So that was some housekeeping. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go for a short commercial break. And then when I come back, we're going to be good into how to apply yourself with mastery in sales. As I said, You don't want to miss this. It's going to be information if you're in business and you want to become that trendsetter. You want to become that global thinker. You want to become proactive in how you apply yourself at business. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. I will be right back. Our sales communication process stands on four important pillars. One, you get to understand the sales process, the communication process, the pull factors of sales communication, and the push factors of sales communication. The success of every business ultimately rests on the shoulder of your sales processes. Business Growth Summit 101 in 2023 will give you the blueprint on how to build and apply this sales communication process to truly optimize the growth and cash flow potential of your business. So, we encourage you to join us on a daily basis and learn how to apply these practical tools to growing and scaling your brands. Okay, welcome back. Now, let's get straight into our talking point for today, our topic for today. Today, we're looking at sales communication mastery, the sales communication process. And what we're about to do that deep dive into is really helping you to understand how to command attention. You want to learn, apply, and master these tools that I'm about to give to you. To command attention in the sales process, one of those techniques that you must learn is how to apply yourself with mastery. Now, to apply yourself with mastery, there's three essential processes you need to learn, apply, and master. And we will go into them today. I will try to see how much of them I can cover today. But what are those processes that you need to learn, apply, and master? First, to command attention, to apply yourself with mastery, the first process that you want to learn is you want to master the process of thinking ahead. This is preparing, it's preparation reaching opportunity. There's always say it's better you prepare to fail than to fail to prepare. So the process of thinking ahead really enables you to think through a process and clearly identify how to achieve a specific end result. And if you're applying yourself with mastery, you want to have the right information. You don't want to come into a situation and you're now trying to figure yourself out as to how you're going to apply yourself. You want to think ahead of this entire process, particularly when it comes to sale, particularly when it comes to cash flow optimization, particularly when it comes to making large and life impact on your ideal client. So I'll talk about that just now. The second process you need to master the process of seeing beyond problems. Now, what exactly is this process represented? We're seeing here that there are many persons that get stuck in the problem zone, and you want to bring yourself to that point where you are solution driven. So you have a solution driven mindset. And let us talk briefly about some of the zone that people are stuck in. They're never able to see beyond the problem. They never master the process of seeing beyond the problem. And I know this because we deal with it on a day-to-day basis. People are stuck in the zone, the problem zone of access to capital. People are stuck in the problem zone of access to markets. People are stuck in the problem zone of access to the right human resources. And very often, many individuals in business are never able to see beyond these type of problems. In our program, we give you the tools, the support to see beyond the problem. You have to master the process of seeing beyond the problem, particularly so in business. If you're stuck in the problem zone, the business never grow. You never cash flow maximize. You never grow and expand to become a leader in the business environment. So we're going to talk to you about this. And the last thing that you need to master when it comes to applying yourself with mastery, you need to master the process of informed action. And of course, in our context, there's a major difference between taking action and taking informed action. And this is how I want you to see it. You're a novice. You may not have the knowledge and the experience, but you decide to get a mentor, to get a coach, to get a sponsor. This equates to targeted results. Once time permits, I will go deep into all of this today to really help you to understand what we're talking about here. But let's push on. Let's now do a deep dive into mastering the process of thinking ahead. To master the process of thinking ahead, you need clarity in the vision. You want to be very clear about the vision. So we're going to discuss two things here: clarity in the vision and clarity in leadership. What exactly do I mean by clarity in the vision? Let's break this down. You want to apply yourself with mastery. You want to be clear about what is it that you want to achieve. Now, in the sales communication process, we are talking about clearly defining the goal. In this case, the sales target is to either generate $1 million or $10 million. You want to be very clear about what is your sales target. You're thinking ahead about what you want to accomplish. You want to be very clear about this in the sales process. All right. So you setting sales targets, you're setting clear goals, and this goal is saying, I want to generate $1 million or $10 million at the end of the year. So that's the first thing you want to ensure that you're very clear about. And saying this is so important because again, I'm seeing many businesses are setting financial target, but when you measure the projected income against the projected expenditure, the operation has a deficit, not a surplus. All right, because you're not necessarily clear, you're not seeing through the entire process here. All right. The second thing that you want to learn and really, focus on this is what we call, when we talk about clarity in the vision, you need to be able to clearly define the purpose, the sales purpose. And the sales purpose, the reason you're making a sale in this particular case is to add value and to fix problems. To add value and to fix problems. The objective behind the sales, when you're positioning yourself to apply yourself with mastery, you want to really take the time to really understand how you're going to add value, how you're going to fix problems. Now, let me go into this just a little bit. To be able to add value and to be able to fix a problem, it means that you understand people and you understand their pain points. You just don't say that this is the value that I want to add and this is the problem that I want to fix without taking the time to understand people and their pain points. And this is what happens a whole lot. You find a lot of businesses get started simply because they have a hunch and they have a feeling, and the hunch and the feeling is totally misguided. It is misguided because you don't understand people and you don't understand people's pain point. And again, if you recall, Jane and Allure last week they spoke about the absolute biodata. When you have the absolute biodata about people's pain point, it helps you now to build out your value proposition. It helps you now to clearly identify how you're going to add value and how you're going to fix problems. You're in the know because of the absolute by your data. You take the time to understand your target market based on their needs and their wants and their expectations, based on their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations, based on their lifestyle, culture, and social class, based on demographic data, based on psychographic data, and based on geographic data. So you want to apply yourself with mastery in the sales process. You need to allow yourself the opportunity to have this type of information that puts you in a position of strength to apply yourself with mastery. You want to prepare yourself to achieve a given objective. The key word here is prepare. You're thinking ahead of people's needs, wants, and expectation. You're innovating products and services based on people's needs, wants, and expectation. You're positioning of products and services in front of people based on a needs, wants, and expectation. You can see this clear because you have the information. So I give you two concepts here. You want to be clearly define the goal. The goal is the financial targets that you want to accomplish between $1 million to $10 million. You want to be clear. You want to clearly define the purpose behind the goal, because you're not going to get a financial goal unless you're adding value, unless you're fixing problem, unless you truly understand people needs, wants, and expectations. You understand people's pain point. The cash flow is not going to come unless you really understand how to make this happen. Market intelligence, the absolute bio data. The third important concept that I want to come to now is clearly defining the game plan. So you set your financial goals. You understand now you're going to add value. You're going to fix problems. Let's talk about the game plan. And I really want us to get into this. All right. Because very often, people set New Year resolutions. You have goals. You have financial targets, and you'd never, bring yourself to that point to fully think through it. The purpose is not clear. You're not clear as to how you're going to add value and how you're going to fix problems. You're not clear that there's a demand for products and services that you have on offer. So that resolution that you set for yourself falls through the crack. And you reach the point where you start to say, I'm not setting goals anymore. I'm not doing any New Year resolutions because they never come true. Why they never come true? Because you are definitely not applying the right knowledge. You're not applying yourself with mastery because you don't have the right body of knowledge. And I promise you that we at Pitch Deck 101 LLC, we at 10X B&M LLC out of New York, we will give you the right body of knowledge. We will give you the support, the mentorship, the coaching to ensure that you win. The third concept that I want you to take away here is clearly defining your game plan. What is the game plan that you're going to be using to cash flow maximize? What is the game plan that you're going to be using to add value and fix problems? Do you really understand this process here? Let's talk about it. What is the game plan? The game plan represents how to deliver the value proposition to realize your sales targets. So there's two things we're talking about here. All right. How to deliver the value proposition to realize the sales target. So you see how these things marry here. If you don't deliver the value proposition up to the expectations of the target market, or above the expectations of the target market with a high degree of consistency, you most likely will not achieve the financial targets, the sales targets that you set yourself. You can set financial targets. You can set a target of optimizing cash flow up to $1 billion. But if you do not add value and fix problems, if these things doesn't correspond in the sales process, you're not going to achieve the objective. You may get a one-time sale, but you want tension and retention in the sales process. All right. So the game plan is what we're going into now. How to deliver the value proposition in a manner that enables you to achieve the sales target, the sales objective. Now let's talk about this, because I'm giving you a game plan. And I'm going to give you some short game plans that can really help you to cash flow maximize, especially if you're in my field. Now, let's talk about this. And the example that I want to give in terms of your game plan, I want you to see yourself as a private equity investors. And in Pitch Deck 101 cases, this is how we see ourselves. We are private equity investors. This is part of what we do. So as a private equity investor, you are looking at several things. You're looking at businesses that want to have access to multiple things. But just before I come to the access point, you are a private equity investor and you're taking between 10 to 20% equity in businesses that you're investing in. All right. So this is your game plan. You're a private equity investor and you're taking 10 to 20% of businesses that you're investing in. Now, why would businesses allow you to take 10 to 20%? If you are apply yourself with mastery in the sales communication process, believe me, you might even get them to give you more than 10 or 20% of their businesses. But for this particular case, I am using the reference of 10 to 20%. I have known many cases where private equity investors, they come in and they take much more of your business. But let me just share with you in a practical case. When a private equity investor comes in, they come with a strong value proposition, the right private equity investors. They are not just coming to expose you to a financial mix. So in your value proposition, you can propose to your client to say, we're going to take 10 or 20%, but we're going to give you exposure to a financial mix. By a financial mix, what are we saying? As the private equity investor, you're saying to the client that we're going to help you access debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. And you're going to put in there in that some of the financial instruments that you will get, you have absolutely no interest to pay on it. So again, you're beginning to peak interest here. Again, you're beginning to command the attention of businesses because every business want to identify how to bring down cost of capital. So in your sales presentation, in you bringing yourself to that point to apply yourself with mastery, this is part of your value proposition. In this particular case, I'm giving you that. But is this the beginning and the end in your value proposition? Is this the beginning and the end in how you're applying yourself with mastery in the sales communication process? Let's go a step further. You're not just exposing your clients or potential clients to a mixed financial market. You're also exposing your client to the concept that we call smart debt leverage. You often hear me say, it's not enough to understand financial instruments. It's not enough to understand how to access financial portfolios. It's equally important to understand how to leverage. So in the partnership where the private equity investor is going to take 10 or 20% of your business, they are also proposing to help you to understand smart debt leverage. Now, here it is. In so many cases, when you take capital, the capital becomes a bad debt. But because the private equity investor is coming into your operation with a high degree of expertise, they're able to help you to identify new, innovative, creative capital leverage that not put you at risk, but creates additional portfolios for the business to give positive cash flow. So when you are sitting waiting on traditional cash flow, the right private equity investor along your side, they're coming with a value proposition that you cannot resist. You're talking about apply yourself with mastery. The information that we're going to give you in helping you to apply yourself in sales, when you apply these techniques, believe me, the customer will want to work with you. Am I going to stop here? No, I'm not going to stop here, because we're talking about applying yourself with mastery. The right proper private equity investor, along with exposing you to a financial mix, a capital market mix, along with exposing you with information about smart debt leverage, they will talk to you, in this case, about debt mitigation best practices. Oh my, it can't get better than this. We're talking to you about debt mitigation best practices. And, believe me, I've talked to so many, accountants, local and international. And when it comes to debt mitigation, I've talked to so many CPAs. And when it comes to debt mitigation, this is not an area of their expertise. But guess what? The private equity investor that's going to take 10 or 20% of your business, they're coming with this knowledge. They're coming with this knowledge. So while they are likely to take 10% of the business, they're coming with the knowledge. Now, before I come to debt mitigation, let me explain something here. With all that I have said, in taking 10 to 20% of your business, the right private equity investor, when they come in, they may see that your business is a $10,000 cash flow operation or a $1 million cash flow operation. And the key focus here is how to 10x this. So if you're a $1 million cash flow, they want to see how they can get you to 10 million and how they can get you to 100 million. Let's take in this scenario, the private equity investor comes in and take you from, let us say, $100 million cash flow in operation to a $1 million cash flow in operation to a $100 million cash flow in operation, and to take 10 or 20% of your business. It means that if that business generates $100 million, they're going to take 10 million or $20 million of the operation. I want to establish this very clear. Remember, I said your sales target is $1 million or $10 million. So I just show you one move in the private equity investment space, one move in the private equity investment space that can bring the private equity investor to realize the sales target. All right, to realize the sales target of $1 million or $10 million. Because when the right private equity investor comes in, they come in to help you to cash flow, but they're also coming to make money. That's the nature of business. You can't, navigate this. It's the nature of business. But in spite of the fact that they're going to be taking 10 or $20 million from your operation, remember, you were a $1 million cash flowing organization. So you can take out that 10 or $20 million that they're going to generate for you, and you still have $80 million when you were a $1 million cash flow in operation. That's the kind of value proposition that the private equity investor is bringing in. And because they understand how to apply themselves with mastery, they're showing you how to win. And they're positioning themselves to win. That's the nature of business. All right. So I've clearly established how the sales target is going to be realized and how the sales value is going to be realizing, adding value and fixing problems. But let me go a little step further here, because we're now talking about debt mitigation. We are talking about applying yourself with mastery in the sales communication process. Perhaps if you know of any financial institution that is going to expose you to the financial mix, any financial institution that is going to expose you to smart financial leverage, any financial institution that's going to help you to mitigate debt. And let me go into this. Perhaps think about going to them. If not, you know where to turn to. We're here to give you that support. What exactly is debt mitigation saying? There's a cost for capital. All right? There is a cost for capital. Again, if you're taking $100 million and the financial institution is charging you 10%, it means per annum you have to pay them $10 million. There's a cost for capital. Over the life cycle, the cost can become very huge. But let me say this to you. What if the financial expert, the private equity investor that is coming alongside you is saying to you, we understand debt. We understand amortization schedules. We understand how to navigate the amortization schedule in your favor. And they're saying to you, we can reduce your debt cost by 25%, by 50%, or more. That means that the $10 million that you would have been paying out annually in debt, perhaps over 5 years, they're going to reduce that to $5 million. So 10 by 5 is 50. You save $25,000 already. 10 by 10 is 100. If they're helping you to save 50%, you already saved $50,000 on the debt portfolio. You're talking about applying yourself with mastery. This is what the right private equity investor coming alongside you, taking 10 or 20% of your business, can help you to accomplish. So you not only move the business from generating $100,000 or $1 million, you now go on to $100 million. You are earning $80 million when you remove some of your overheads, but you're also reducing the cost of capital that allows the business to save additional money to pump back into smart investment portfolio into your business. Is that enough? Applying yourself with mastery. The last concept I'm going to give you here today is market data. I love talking about market data. You heard Jade and Allure talk about market data, the importance of market data. You need market information. So the private equity investors, I'm saying the right private equity investor, when they come to give you that support, they are not only coming to take a percentage of your business. They are not. They are coming with critical market information. And what do I mean by this? The right private equity investors, they're going to be data driven. They're going to be data driven. And of course, they're going to be helping you to look for ways to grow and scale your business locally, to grow and scale your business regionally, to grow and scale your business nationally, and to grow and scale your business internationally. Talking about the right private equity investor, talking about applying yourself with mastery in the sales communication process. Can you imagine that you're a salesperson and you can present this type of value proposition to your client? What is likely to happen? You've created a multiple win-win situation where your client is going to be jumping for joy because you remove the challenges in terms of access to capital, access to market, access to human resource. You remove this difficulty, and you're also throwing in tremendous opportunity to help those clients, those businesses, to cash flow. Based on, we're talking now market data to help leapfrog the business growth. So I trust today you would have enjoyed this program as we talk about mastering, applying yourself with mastery. Time only permits us to look at mastering the process of thinking ahead in starting a business and applying yourself and say you want to bring yourself to think through this entire process. And this is just the think tanking. This is just thinking through the process. The more clear you are about how the process works is what's going to enable you to be more successful in how you position yourself to realize the goals that you're setting yourself, the sales targets that you're setting yourself, the way you're positioning yourself to add value and fix problems, the way you're positioning yourself to build out your game plan. All right. The right private equity investor in this particular case, they will be driven by data, meaning that they understand your target market. They understand demographic data, psychographic data, geographic data, and they're able to look at this from a local perspective, a regional perspective, a national perspective, and an international perspective. When the right private equity investor come alongside you, they're not coming to play. They're coming to optimize the chances to cash flow maximize. So I've just shown you how to not just build a seven-figure business, but how to 10x that possibility. All right. There are other things that I should have looked at under this particular heading. We should have looked at clarity in leadership. And here is where I should have talked about the sense of self, the sense of purpose, the sense of direction. But we're going to be here with you for a little bit, to ensure that we provide this content of information to you to ensure that you win in business. All right. So we're now getting warm up. So I trust that you would have enjoyed today's program. Today we talk about how to master the sales communication process. Under the heading, we looked at commanding attention. Jed introduced this program. So I went deeper into one of the elements that enables you to command attention. So everything that I've just said falls under apply yourself with mastery. And taken away from what I've just said, when you apply yourself with mastery, your audience has no choice but to give you their attention because you have taken the time to understand their pain points. You have taken the time to understand their needs, wants, and expectations. You have taken the time to be driven by purpose, and the purpose is to commit to add value to fix problems. You're not driven by a desire to cash flow maximize only, but you have a desire to add value and fix people's problem. You understand people's pain points in business, and you decide to become that private equity investor who can add value and fix problems, who can talk about capital market mix and not only talk about it, but take the step to ensure that you give your client access to a capital market mix. You're able now to provide the support to help the client to be able to leverage capital smart so it doesn't become a liability, it becomes a cash flowing asset. You help the client to understand how to mitigate the debt process so they're able to reduce the debt life cycle, reduce the debt cost, and smile to the bank because they're able to save more money. You're bringing information to the client in terms of market data that helps them to understand who's their target market, the size of the target market, density and dispersion, how to innovate products and distribute products to significantly optimize the cash flow of the business. Applying yourself with mastery in the sales communication process. Remember, this program comes to you with the kind compliments of Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York and 10X B&M LLC. And our key focus in behind these businesses is to really provide that business ecosystem that ensures that once you're in business and you're serious about doing business, that you are given the support to win. All right, that you're given the support to win. We have relationship with multiple financial institutions that are serious about helping you to win when you set up your business the right way. All right. So whether you're a local in the United States of America or a foreign national or someone outside of the US who wants to set your business up in the US, we have that ecosystem set up to help you get this done at ease. We can get you through the Secretary of State in a couple of hours, in a few days. We can have you properly set up. So you're ready to do business if you're serious. You're ready to go into new markets. You're ready to expand and make impact and optimize your business potential to cash flow. So with that being said, I really, really trust that you enjoyed today's program. Apply yourself with mastery in the sales communication process. Remember to reach out to us. Go to our website. The title of that website is pitchdeck101.org. Our numbers are there. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Make contact with us. Also, follow us across social media. Follow us on YouTube. Go to YouTube, subscribe, and press that bell so you will be the first to be notified when these programs are on. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Again, you will be updated on these platforms. This content also is going to be going across multiple social media platform. At the moment, we are here on LinkedIn, we are here on Facebook, we are here on Instagram. Very soon, we're going to be going to Clubhouse, we're going to be going to Wisdom, we're going to be going to Fireside, and a multiple other social media platform. And we're going to really help, businesses. We want to bring a lot of businesses along with us because we want to also help them to grow and scale. All right. So, with that being said, I want to say goodbye. Do have a great weekend ahead of you. All right. And make a commitment to start applying yourself with mastery in sales. Goodbye. Our sales communication process stands on four important pillars. One, you get to understand the sales process, the communication process, the pull factors of sales communication, and the push factors of sales communication. The success of every business ultimately rests on the shoulder of your sales processes. Business Growth Summit 101 in 2023 will give you the blueprint on how to build and apply this sales communication process to truly optimize the growth and cash flow potential of your business. So, we encourage you to join us on a daily basis and learn how to apply these practical tools to growing and scaling your brands. In business, it is not enough to understand financial instruments, being debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. It is equally important to understand debt mitigation. It is with debt mitigation you're able to reduce your debt life cycle, reduce the debt cost, and attain greater financial leverage. We at Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York, we give our clients the support they need to access capital, leverage capital, and mitigate debt in the right way. It is in debt mitigation you're able to significantly optimize financial leverage. So I encourage you to reach out to us at Pitch Deck 101 LLC to learn more smart ways to access capital, smart ways to leverage capital, and above all, smart ways to mitigate debt. Access to capital is vital for the success of every business. However, it is important to know that all financial instruments are not created equal. We at Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York, we support our clients to access business credit at 0% APR. This can give your business a tremendous competitive advantage. So I encourage you to reach out to us now and let us help you set up your business in the right way and access capital the smart way.